Hello, everyone. My name is Peter Mutie. I am the Executive Director of Peterson Integrated Communications Limited, which is a training firm based in Nairobi, Kenya. I am also privileged to serve in the board of Global Alliance. Now, I was requested to talk about the role of leadership communication in restoring investor confidence under the new normal. So allow me to share the screen so that we can move together in this very interesting discussion. Right. So COVID-19 global crisis has caused adverse consequences. Businesses have been disrupted, as well as our livelihoods. We are actually facing serious challenges, both public health and social structures. And there are casualties that we have witnessed: business closures, jobs have evaporated, lives have been lost. And therefore, the new normal is presenting a challenging situation to every part of the globe. Many things are plummeting. As a matter of fact, global recession is unavoidable. And I will show you the predictions by the World Bank, which are not quite pleasant related to global recession. Uncertainties are many and they are varied. But however, the world has to land safely. We cannot afford to crash. We must summon our best skills, energies, and effort to come out and manage the new normal. Some of the projections by the World Bank, and these projections are for June 2020, which is a month ago. The projections indicate that we are going to have a 5.2% contraction in global GDP in the year 2020. And this is the deepest global recession in decades. Over the longer horizon, the deep recessions triggered by the pandemic are expected to leave lasting scars. Lower investment, an erosion of human capital through lost work and schooling, and fragmentation of global trade and supply linkages are imminent. In other words, we are headed for hard times. That is how the new normal will look like. Projections in global regions, and let's come to closer home. East Asia and the Pacific is envisaged to grow by a scant 0.5%. South Asia will contract by 2.7%. Sub-Saharan Africa, where we are now, by 2.5%. Middle East and North Africa by 4.2%. Europe and Central Asia by 4.7%. And Latin America by 7.2%. These downturns are expected to reverse years of progress towards development goals. And indeed, they will tip tens of millions of people back into extreme poverty. That is the new normal we are talking about. And therefore, what is the role of leadership communication in the new normal, and especially in regard to investor confidence? And I want to begin by saying that at both macro and organizational level, the overriding role of leadership communication is to restore trust. And trust is expectations that are met, values that are lived, and promises that are actualized. Trust is the natural consequence of those three aspects. And therefore, the expectations of leadership communication are quite clear. A common goal for most organizations and leaders in crisis, and as a matter of fact, in the new normal, will be to maintain trust and confidence of those who matter. And those who matter are the shareholders, of course, the employees, customers, regulators, residents, and citizens. In other words, the whole lot of stakeholders that determine and give license to an organization to succeed. Trust is what makes other elements of competitive advantage possible. Trust will make stock prices stabilize or do better. Trust brings around employee morale and productivity. And trust also allows support of regulators, among other factors of competitive advantage. Trust, in turn, is earned when investors demonstrate they care. During a crisis, and even when we emerge from this crisis into the new normal, all stakeholders will expect responsible organizations, responsible leaders, responsible investors to care. To care that something has happened, to care that people need help, to care that something needs to be done. And this is absolutely critical during a crisis. Care is what brings about trust. Investors who demonstrate care will come out as winners. But I would like to say that what it means to care may be different from region to region, from industry to industry. So it is not a common aspect or a common suit that fits all of us. Each region has got its own requirements, and the demonstration of care is different from region to region. What it means to care in various phases of crisis, it's also different. At the early phases, in the middle of the crisis, and later phases of the crisis. But the common denominator is that we need to demonstrate care. That we need to care doesn't change. Investors who demonstrate care will come out as winners. I have said that. The single largest predictor that trust will fall is the perception of indifference. Silence when there is an expectation of caring is interpreted by stakeholders as indifference. And silence gives our adversaries, our critics, the media, as well as the social media, and trolls the ability to define us as uncaring or incompetent or lacking integrity. Consumers, the audiences that we serve, are very observant. They are observing who is behaving responsibly. They are observing who is manifesting care. They are observing which organization is keeping the promise. They are observing which investor is demonstrating responsibility. Anyone perceived as uncaring will likely be punished in the future. That is the critical role of leadership communication. The actions we take, the messages we send out, or interactions that we do with our audiences need to manifest care, and we will emerge in the new normal successfully. And while doing this, and as I come to conclusion, so that later we can have the live interaction, I want to give the guiding question for leaders and investors. to come out successfully and as caring. And that guiding question is, what do reasonable people appropriately expect a responsible organization or leader to do when facing this kind of situation? That is the guiding question. What do reasonable people appropriately expect a responsible government to do, a responsible investor to do under this kind of situation? All organizations or investors or leaders or governments or regions that will address that question appropriately will come out successful under the new normal. And that is the role of leadership communication as far as restoring confidence is concerned. Thank you very much. Asante sana, Swahili word for thank you. And I look forward for the live interaction forum when I can articulate more on these and other aspects of leadership communication. Thank you.